Hey everyone, my name is GoldenBoy and this is a Golden Nugget. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in for the last episode. It was my first video back in quite a while, so let me know if I messed anything up. We have some great news lined up today. We have Halo 5 and the great update that's going to be coming out pretty soon, as well as some Overwatch news, so let's jump in. That's right, folks, the gift that keeps on giving. Halo 5 will have another update in June, and this one is a doozy. The update will release December 8th. December 8th. That's tomorrow, which is insane, and it will include so many new features and maps and things that you could tinker with in the game, as well as Req Packs. It's awesome. The update will include the new observer mode, a forge mini game kind of thing, which we still don't know much about yet because 343 has to put out another update about this stuff, which again just shows how massive it is. They had to put out 2 updates because just one wasn't enough to contain the goodness. They also have the new observer mode, which I'm personally happy about, and now the custom games browser, where now you can hop in and find people playing custom games, and essentially it's an old thing that has been made new again, and I love it. I can't believe that we're finally getting a feature like this in Halo 5. Now, like I said before, it's a custom games browser, so it's not a custom games lobby browser where like you can find open lobbies and then join into them. Essentially what it is if, let's say, I'm playing an FFA game and I want to, just make it open so that anyone can join me. Let's say I'm streaming, self-promotion. Well, you can hop in, play some games with me, or play games with your friends. It doesn't matter, and you can actually create a pretty cool community that way. I think this is a fantastic feature. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get it so that you could just sit in a lobby and wait for it to fill up, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, though, beggars can't be choosers in this case, and I would imagine that the intricacies of building something like this is very, very difficult. Now, remember, folks, this feature is actually going to be coming out for Xbox One and PC, so everyone is going to be able to partake in some custom games goodness. Personally, I'm excited for it. I think this is a great feature that honestly would have some great community building opportunities for whoever is looking to just either make friends, build fan bases, build communities, and one thing's for certain, I will be taking advantage of it because I think something like this is too good to pass up. Now, the feature that has me the most excited is the observer mode. This has been a must for the community. Now, granted, 343 did release a spectator mode that came out with Halo 5, but it was something that required you to look at film, and the film had to have already happened, so you were always like 20 or 30 seconds behind, and it did its absolute best to stay ahead of it, but honestly, it just wasn't a feature that was really fleshed out. This observer mode it looks like what you would find traditionally in, like, let's say Counter-Strike or maybe even MOBAs and whatnot. A lot of information. Actually, if you want a good reference, if you've seen the Gears of War 4 observer mode, that will kind of give you a good idea of what this looks like. Furthermore, we've seen this at the Halo World Championship. It was actually where it was debuted. Your boy had the chance to use it for the first time, and it was a great feature then, and I was just waiting for it to come out to the retail copy so that people can actually use it. And I think this is going to be a great tool to promote community growth and allow tournament organizers to run broadcasts on their own. I can't wait, and I'm so glad that this thing is finally coming out there after all this time. And a couple of other updates as well is Req Pack gifting. Yes, folks, I can now give you Req Packs, but I probably won't because I'm a cheap mofo. So Req Pack gifting is going to be a thing where essentially you could pay money and give a Req Pack to a friend or to a viewer or to anyone, really. I think this is actually going to be a really good feature for streamers and viewers as well. Maybe instead of donating, they can give them a Req Pack. I don't know. It seems like a cool feature that has a lot of potential. Keep in mind, you cannot use your Req points for Req Pack gifting. It is only real money transactions. Once again, only real money. And they stated that the reasoning behind that was they didn't want people to manipulate the system. Maybe some dude has like 5 million Req points out there and he could just game the system easily. Who knows? I have no idea, honestly. And you have to be Spartan level 5 in order to use it. So that means you can't just be a brand new account and just buying Req Packs or whatever. You actually have to play the game in order for you to get this feature. And finally, something I'm super happy about, the Pro Pipe is back. The grenade launcher is making making a return, and there's also a variation called the Pro Pipe, and you can see it. I'm gonna put the link down below so that you guys could check out the waypoint post. But I'm so happy the grenade launcher is coming back. It was a pretty fun weapon to use in Halo Reach, and if anyone knows me, I don't speak well of Reach for a multitude of reasons. That was one of my favorite things about the game, and I'm glad to see it back in Halo 5. And I want to close out this segment on Halo, really applauding 343 for continuing to update this game. And in fact, I feel like they kind of set a precedent in this space where you started to see games like Rainbow Six Siege and even Overwatch loosely resemble the same kind of mentality of free updates. But if you want to support the game, you can purchase Req Packs or, you know, whatever like microtransaction that's there. But essentially, they're not like front loading you with DLC, which you would see a lot of games do. I'm happy about that, and I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys happy with 343's approach to DLC in Halo 5, or do you prefer the more old school method of purchasing DLC packs and then being done with it, no microtransactions included? I did get a temperature check for the community, and I was on teambeyond.net, which is a very popular website for competitive Halo fans. Check it out if you haven't had a chance yet. I'll put a link down in the description below. But one of the comments there actually said, it's a good update, but it could quite clearly be better. I'm a bit tired of things being quote unquote fleshed out over time. And that was a response to me, who I had actually said that I was really happy about this update. And you know what? I mean, he's not wrong. Halo 5 has been a game that's, you know, from launch to today, it's a completely different game. I kind of agree with that statement, but at the same time though, that doesn't change my stance in applauding 343 for continuously updating this game. And now on to some Overwatch news, because Christmas is coming and Overwatch wants to celebrate it with you. So on December 13th, they're going to release the Holiday Spectacular. At least I don't know what the name is called, but I just wanted to do that, so I stuck with it. In the invite, it looked like a snowy version of King's Row, which is pretty awesome. Can't wait to see how that is, you know, kind of designed and fleshed out. And, you know, of course, I'm assuming it's not going to have any impact on gameplay, but I am happy overall, and I think it's going to look pretty cool. But of course, the community did what they always do, and they data mined the crap out of this, and they've managed to find a Christmas-themed Overwatch song. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description down below. Check it out if you get a chance. It actually sounds pretty good, so I'm stoked for it. I think it's going to be a fun update, and I think a lot of people are really going to dig it, and we're going to get some badass Christmas skins. Yes. Can't wait. Also, one final thing, the Stay as a Team update is actually going to be making its way to the PTR. And essentially what that means is if you played a game with some people and you're like, damn, we actually clicked, we had some good chemistry, you guys could then party up and then move forward. This is a feature actually that worked out really well, I believe, in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. I enjoyed those features quite a bit, and I'm glad to see them making their way to Overwatch. Before I get started on this topic, keep in mind that I am a caster at MLG Las Vegas that will be happening next weekend. So my views and the reflections for the Golden Nugget is not that of Blizzard or MLG, and in fact they don't even know that I make this show anyway. So going to be very transparent with you guys, and whatever I state is not in the defense or against the decisions that have been made. I'm merely going to try and present this subject to you. So what is the subject? Well, it's about the way of which the tournament is organized. So a lot of people in the community have expressed frustration over the fact that MLG and Blizzard have decided to use a fixed map rotation instead of a map draft. So what are those two formats? Well, first let's start with a fixed map rotation. Fixed map is essentially as it sounds. Each round there are a fixed amount of maps that the teams would play. You play those maps, you move on to the next round. Everyone in that bracket, everyone in that line, so like round of 32 for example, will all play the same maps. Whereas in a map draft, Team 1 and Team 2 have an opportunity to pick and ban the maps that they don't want to play. And the final 3 maps are the maps that will be played in the competition or in their matchup. So again, there's an opportunity there for the players and the teams to pick and ban the maps that they want and don't want to play. Now, I found this op-ed on over.gg, which is a fantastic website for Overwatch, by the way. Check it out if you get a chance. I'll put a link in the description below. But over.gg had this op-ed from a writer named Admirable, and what he said was he wasn't really happy with how this format went because the community likes the map draft format, whereas they feel like Blizzard is trying to push the agenda of a fixed map rotation. Now, one constant in all these tournaments is that there has been no constant. Every event has had like a different format, and it's been a little weird, whether it's Overwatch Open having the draft format, OGN Apex's event having a really unique system, which it appeared like you had a list of maps in each game and then you picked and banned the map that you wanted to play, or even the ESL Atlantic Showdown, which featured a fixed map rotation. So there have been different formats through and through, but the community has really gravitated toward the map draft layout because that is what's been used in a lot of tournaments, such as the Gosu tournaments, which have been popular fan favorite events for the community. So the argument for the map rotation, it's very simple. You as a competitor should be good at every map in the game, and it creates some pretty cool storylines. If two teams are going to collide in the bracket, but the maps favor team 2 instead of team 1, yet team 1 manages to win, that creates a whole new storyline. So I understand the perspective of why a fixed map rotation is good, and on top of that, you get to see a wide range of maps rather than just the, escort maps that you would find or the hybrid maps that you would find, such as King's Row, for example. Now, the arguments against a fixed map rotation, again, are very simple and understandable. Essentially, there are too many maps in the game. Right now, there are 13 maps that players have to learn, and you're going to be bad at some and you're going to be good at others. What it creates is an opportunity for a team to isolate someone if, let's say, they're bad at control maps, aka King of the Hill maps. If they're bad at those maps, then they go ahead and really focus on them to get rid of some maps that they would like to play while getting in at least one King of the Hill / control map. So there's a really cool storyline perspective there that you could take with it. It's one of those things where, it really benefits the teams and the players because they don't have to go hard on so many maps, and you can be good at some maps and make sure that those maps get through in the rotation. Also, the other thing too is that some people in the community feel like the assault maps like Hanamura, for example, or Temple of Anubis or Volskaya Industries, just aren't fun maps to watch. Of course, everyone has opinions on the maps that they like and don't like, but that's the perspective of a lot of members of the community. Personally, I hate Volskaya Industries, but that's just me. While at the same time, I'm kind of okay with Hanamura. I'm not speaking my opinion here. That was specifically for ZP because I know how much he loves Volskaya Industries and he just wants to watch the world burn. But maybe this is a test for Blizzard. Maybe they want to see how this works out. And of course, it's at the behest of a tournament, but what better way to get actual data than in a live environment? So I don't know how this is going to pan out, and honestly, I don't see any changes coming to this format at all. So this is going to be how the tournament is played out because the event is next week. So there's no time to change it. Teams have to start getting ready and practicing for this bad boy. So now I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about the decision for the fixed map rotation at MLG Las Vegas? Hearing both sides of the story, what are your thoughts? I want to know them. Share them in the comment section down below. That's it for me. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Really appreciate it, and hopefully you continue to tune into more of these videos. Prepare for another one to drop on Friday, and again, I always want to know what you guys think, so feel free to go in the comment section and let me know if you love it, if you hate it, what do you want changed, and I will look into it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Golden Boy, and we'll see you on the other side.